Hey everyone, Jeff here, and today I am drawing an original character inside or using Sketchbook Pro, and I'm using Sketchbook Pro on my iPad Air. And let me tell you what, it feels so good to just sit down and take about an hour to draw whatever I want. No deadlines, no clients to please. I'm just drawing what comes to mind. In this case, it was this really wacky looking monster. But hey, don't judge. Don't judge. I have uncapped my creative juices, and we're all on this raft as we go, watching me draw this monster, and we are floating down the river of creative juices. But if you don't already take time to yourself, I would definitely recommend you do take some you time and draw whatever is on your mind. You will find that, well, number one, it's a very good practice. And number two, drawing when there isn't any pressure to please anybody is a wonderful thing. Like, no one is going to call me up and say, gosh darn it, Jeff, I wanted this monster to have bigger eyes. Or, gosh darn it, why is he looking all slumped over? Because you know what? That's just the way I felt like putting it together today. So, yeah. But, that being said, you kind of have to find that balance too, because I'm also not getting paid to do this. So there's also that. One brings you money, and one just kind of brings you pleasure. So today, this is just bringing me pleasure. Plus, it's kind of a nice break because over the last 2 weeks, I have been doing nothing but making custom brushes. In fact, I'm up to 18 custom brushes, and you're seeing me use them right now as I draw this monster. 18 unique original brushes, some, so to speak. I'm just going to call out a few, but I've got a skull brush. That one's pretty cool. You can create skulls like super fast, and then there's the totem brush, which that one seems to be pretty popular. The totem brush, I use that to create a very quick mountainside. And then of course I got a forest brush, and the forest brush does just that. If you need to create a dense forest, you can do that here in just a couple of seconds. And those are all available on my Gumroad store. But, why did I make these brushes? Well, let me tell you, tools make things so much easier. So yeah, sure, I could spend 20 minutes to designing a dense forest, but hey, I've got a brush now. I can just do that in a few seconds. Now, at the same time, a tool is just a tool. You still have to know how to use the tool and when to use the tool and how much of the tool you should use. So, it's very, very easy to go overkill or overboard using any one tool. That goes without saying. But getting back to the point of all this is that when you take time and pick a thing to draw and pick a technique that maybe you don't always do a lot of color, or maybe you don't always do a lot of character design. Those hard projects, especially the ones you give yourself, those are the ones that will give you the most value at the end of the day. Because I'll tell you, when I draw, no matter what it is I draw, at the end of that drawing, there's something that I learned how to do that I didn't know before I started the drawing. And I'll tell you, lately it's been, experimenting with different types of line art, and line shading. So I used to do the traditional crosshatch, but now I just use lines, spec shading lines as kind of more of like on a contour type basis. And I find that gives me a little bit of a neater effect than just doing the normal X's here and there. Another thing I've learned how to do lately is really separate my characters from the backgrounds. And you'll kind of see me here playing with a little bit of a screen layer and some of the opacity as I made this background. And the background, not overly detailed, but that's intentional because the focal point is this monster, and that's what I want you to take a look at. So, and wasn't married to any particular color, but I made sure that the saturation of the monster was a little bit higher than it was for the rest of the background. It gives them a little bit more of a pop and pulls them out from the rest of the page. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, it's a lot of fun. I wanted to share what I've been thinking, and let me know if what your thoughts are. And now a quick word from our sponsor, me. Hey, if you haven't been to my Gumroad store, come on down and check out these sweet custom brushes I've made for the use of the Sketchbook Pro application. Got the skull brush, the totem brush, and we even have the forest brush. So come on down and check them out.